Whenever y'all are...
Say hello, it's because of the pre-show.
Alright.
Welcome back to Elvis Fans Matter. Second little segment of questions and answers. And we're going to get started right away.
Alright. Did y'all watch the Piers Morgan interview with Priscilla, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I have heard her. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I don't think I watched it.
I thought it was, I mean, you know, I saw her, she contradicted herself a lot. I don't know. It's like I always say, you know, it's, she was saying she had no friends and all that. She had a lot of friends here. And I didn't know we were chosen for her. I had no idea. She used to come out to my house when they were out of town and spend the night with me, and I would go up to Graceland and me and my cousin and we Patsy at Lacquer, and we would play cards and go out to dinner, go to the movies, go to the fairgrounds. We did everything. And she had another friend named her name was Carolyn Jones, that was from Memphis, and she didn't even mention her either. I don't know if you know, she totally forgot us. I didn't think I was that easy to forget, but apparently we are. And really, I don't give a rat's ass.
And that's a fact.
And that's a fact. I thought, I don't know, she just, it's almost like, to me, that she has this look that is, like I said once before, looks like she just swallowed a fart. And
yeah,
I just said it. And it's like she thinks she's better than all of us, when in reality, she was a military brat, you know, and I'm sure she knows what an outdoor toilet and you know, helping out with the kids and cooking dinner. But right now she's on her throne. And as far as being buried at Graceland and all that, I don't think Elvis would have liked it. That's just my opinion. I always just, you know, when we were close. Patsy Lacquer, me, Priscilla, Becky Yancey, Patsy Presley. But the only one she mentions is Patsy Presley. And that's because Patsy worked there and basically did whatever Priscilla wanted, and we didn't. We did, you know, we just...
She took on, you know, a lot of Elvis's ways, like, you know, the guys working for him. If he wanted something, we got it. But Priscilla, now, yeah, she thought, you know, that you should do it for nothing, you know. So all the wives and girlfriends she had should cater right to her, you know. But there's a lot, you know, that she missed out on. If she didn't have friends, maybe she ought to take a look inside and
see why. You're right.
And, you know, that's about all I can say about that.
I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that she said and a lot of the things that she told. She told me a whole different story about a lot of it, but I mean, you know, maybe she was just bragging or whatever. But I know when she left and they divorced, I remember the first Christmas after she left, and Elvis said, you know, we're going to have a good time this year. If Priscilla had been here, I wouldn't have been able to do any of the stuff that I'm doing. And I guess he's right, because she gave me a purse one year for Christmas, and which was fine, it was nice. And but Elvis didn't like stuff like that. He was a giving person, and he didn't like for somebody to, even his daddy, to hold him back or go, oh, you know how much that cost, or how much that cost, or you're spending too much money, because he made it, and if he wanted to spend it, he spent it.
Yeah.
And I just, I'm sorry about I'm sorry about her grandson. I'm sorry about her mother.
Oh,
I'm sorry, especially sorry about Lisa. To me, Lisa's still here. I can see her as that little kid at Graceland, and all the funny, silly, hateful little things she would do,
Yeah,
mischievous. But that was Lisa. She was so much like Elvis, so it was pitiful. And I have to just stop and think when they say, and they show her burial spot up there. It's just unreal to me.
Like Elvis, it's hard to accept the fact that she's gone.
Yeah. And like him at such an early age. Lisa was so much like him in the way she thought, and and I don't know about their battle, Priscilla and her battle. I don't know anything about that. I don't care. But I know a lot of the things that she said was I had heard totally different, and that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, next question.
Well, one of the questions from that, because we had several questions about that interview, one of the questions from that was when Elvis died, was Lisa in Memphis or was she in California?
Memphis.
And on her interview, I think that she said that, she had to tell Lisa they were going to see her dad and he wouldn't be the same, whatnot. But Lisa called y'all.
She called out at our house. She called Linda Thompson before she called anybody. And she called out at our house and was crying and saying, my daddy's dead, and
she was not calling from California. She was calling from Graceland.
She was at Graceland because she came out in a little bit on her little golf cart, and Danny and Joey and little boy Mike McGregor's son Billy and Rory, they all had a tree house right out by our house, that big oak tree, and they got up in that tree house and sat for Joey and Lisa, I guess for about an hour or so. She was just wanted to talk, just had somebody to talk to, and she was at Graceland, so I don't know where that came from.
Alright. I'll just include it on here. The other day on Facebook there was a TikTok video brought up, and I'll have to look and see exactly who. I don't have the name of the TikTok user or whatnot, but they took a clip of an interview that Papa's done about when Elvis passed away, and basically they've titled it Elvis's Cousin Denies His Death. It was taken completely, they cut a piece out, it was taken completely out of context. And basically they were saying, it was a short little clip, and it's an interview of Papa, and he said, when they brought Elvis's body back to Graceland, that basically kind of relaxed Papa's mind that it's true, he's gone, this is it. Well, they took it into this out of context that you didn't believe he had died and that you were not accepting of that. And I try to explain on there, there's a grieving process, and one of the steps is, like shock, denial, acceptance. I mean, your anger's in there, and you go through all these motions. You didn't mean you did not believe it. You just meant it was a shock for you.
One heck of a shock.
And then actually seeing it made it real.
When I went to the hospital, Dr. Nick and Joe and all said they had him already in another room, and we was kind of in a little waiting room like, and they were. And when I come in, I said, is he dead? And Joe looked at me and put his arm on my shoulder, and he said, yeah, he's gone. And Dr. Nick and Joe said, you want to see him? And right then I thought, I said, no, I don't think so. That was my drawback. I just didn't want to believe
You
it.
didn't want to face the truth.
And so I left, right away and went back to Graceland and all. And the next day, of course, they brought his body
I'll never forget
back to Graceland, and
seeing him in that casket. Was,
reality struck heavy then. There wasn't no denying it anymore, or thinking, God, maybe he'll be all right.
It's like you were. It's like everything stopped, and you didn't know. You couldn't go backward. You couldn't go forward. You were just. Everything was just stopped. It was like there was nothing, and to see him. And to have seen him 2 days before, and been with him at the racquetball building, and heard him talk.
One day before.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they kept his body for one day, and then they, and it just was. God, it was unreal. That's why Billy, he couldn't sleep, and he would wake up and he'd think he heard Elvis calling, and we would get up and go out and walk around in meditation garden and look up at that's before they moved his body back out there, and look up at his room, and Billy would think he could see him, and it just got to the point that you could hear a motorcycle. It was just crazy, and we just.
Is that when y'all
Billy's-
moved because of your mental well-being? And
Billy said,
emotional
"I
well-being?
can't. I just can't. I can't. It's not home anymore."
Just a few hours before,
Yeah.
we had talked together and
Hugged and
played games, and like we always do, and then bang, I was out trailered there, not even realizing, and waiting on a tour to get ready to go on, and getting ready to see him when he got up, and and then without physically feeling it, it was like somebody had slapped me down. I could not.
I know
just,
it's like they knocked the breath out of you. It's like you. I don't.
Yeah.
It's burned in my brain. I'm sure. I know it is you too. But I will never, ever, as long as I live, forget that day, and everything that was just. It was like this can't be. This can't be happening. I mean, he was just the center of everything, of our whole world, of everything we'd known Billy all of his life, and me since I was just so young, and it just knocked your feet out from under you. You just, he would.
Of course, I know, God, just that, and knowing from all the fans that were come into Memphis.
Oh yeah.
and how they, they had to feel it too. It was just, I think about Patsy Gamble, Presley.
Mm-hmm.
I think about her because she was there, and Uncle Vernon.
I remember him. He was so hurt. He wailed. He didn't just cry. He just, it was like, that's the way we all were. It was like you just, please God, don't let this be.
Real,
but it was, and we always thought, we always thought he would be okay. Nothing could happen to him because he was just so.
Folks, forgive me.
Taking care of everybody else, and so
I want to move on.
Yeah, we have to.
Well, it's a very, as you all can see, it is a very emotional thing, and the videos and the clips being taken out of context to find discrepancies or to say that it wasn't that Papa was saying he was not gone. He was saying he was in denial because he didn't want to accept it, and then seeing it.
Later, we even wrote me and Marty made up a goofy story. I mean, if you read it.
But explain why you did it.
Well, everybody was saying that's Elvis.
He's alive. I saw him here, and I saw him there,
and I saw that, and I thought, well,
make you see how ridiculous you look.
Right.
So we wrote a book, how Elvis faked his death,
A story.
And like we said, the guy couldn't, Elvis wouldn't have had plastic surgery to look like somebody else.
No.
They had to look like Elvis, and all that, and how he went through a gate and met some woman, named Maria. He had knew a while back, and got in a bus, and they left, and y'all.
It was just.
It was more of a kind of like a joke because they were saying,
mockery. And two on it, you had fiction. This is fiction.
Yeah. But the only one that really picked it up was a paper in England, and they wrote it, but they wrote it as
true
rather than fiction. And so, that's how all that silly crap got started. I mean, boy, anybody that would have believed that, golly. I could have sold them anything.
If anybody...
Swamp land, no land, Neverland.
That was...
But that,
That was one of the worst times of our life.
Yeah,
and it's like every minute of it was burned in your memory. That's why, like, in August, we love to see all the fans and visit, but it's a bittersweet time for us because all those memories rush back, and even after the events, we have trouble after we come home.
But we're being truthful and honest.
Yeah.
The events actually happen because we can tell our stories to people who,
want to know the truth.
Know and ask questions about him, and it's it's an enjoyable thing then, but when we come back home,
we start thinking about him, and
well, that's usually why I say that after we've had the event, and after y'all have seen everybody during Elvis week, I usually say the family, especially y'all, are going to take a short break, and so we'll just do like recaps from the Q&As and everything, because
It takes a lot out of
mentally
you.
and emotionally, they do just need to rest and move on and think happier times. And I hated to bring this up today. It was just a big question because this video has been circulating saying, oh, well, Elvis's first cousin denied he was ever dead.
We've answered that, and don't bring it up again.
I will not. I will not.
As we always said, what Elvis taught me was to find humor in everything. Well,
Yeah.
I'm reaching and finding my
Yeah.
humor because
Yep.
it hurts too bad just to continue
Just
on
to
with
keep
it.
It hurts.
So,
Yeah.
with that, let's move on.
Okay. Well, I think maybe let's end this video with, it was, kind of a sad and emotional, and it was a big question. And so instead of throwing in happier and funnier stuff, let's let it be. And that question got answered. And anytime you see somebody asking the question, I will refer them back to this video, just so they don't have to answer it again. If you see that TikTok or anything referring to that interview,
Oh, that was on TikTok?
it was a short TikTok video.
Well, they should have turned the clock off.
They should have.
And I mean, it was but it was just a snippet of one of your interviews, and I'm not even sure exactly which one. Just a snippet where you were talking
It
about
had to
that
be.
day, but they headlined it as Elvis's cousin denies his death.
Well,
They
did
took
that-
it out of context.
Wait just a minute. What did the part that I had to say, what did I say? 'Cause
Basically,
I never said
no.
that Elvis, I thought Elvis was alive.
Right. No. Yeah, it was a little short snippet again where it was cut, just short. It was just a part of your interview where you said, and again, I'm not even sure who the uploader is for the TikTok. I don't, it was just headline again. Elvis's cousin denies his death, and then it's a part where you were telling that you only knew what you were being told, at the hospital, and then going home, and basically what you were saying is you just didn't want to believe it.
I didn't want to believe it.
No, but physically seeing his body brought back, basically we're saying it made it real. Just like with anybody, you lose somebody you're that close to.
Oh, okay, well then I know the interview, and
But
I don't know how they circled
right,
that around.
but it was circled back around, and it's what Stephanie, our good friend Stephanie, was
Thank you, Stephanie.
upset
Graham.
about the other day.
Yeah,
And so
Stephanie
somebody was
Graham.
asking questions about, well, what interview, what did he mean? And I just wanted it cleared up, because when it's a part of your life, and when you really truly care about somebody, you do go through stages of losing somebody, and there is a moment of denial. He never said he's not dead, he's alive, it's fake, it's pretend. Emotionally, you do have a moment of, this is not real, this is not reality, and then it does hit you, and that's what was getting cleared up.
And the thing about it is a lot of people, I mean, they think, okay, you work for Elvis, you traveled with Elvis, people don't realize how close that group, I mean, it was like a 24-hour, 7 days a week when we were together. We went home to sleep and take our kids to school,
Right.
and things like that. But Elvis was in our life constantly, and it wasn't like an employer or, it was like family, and more than family sometimes,
well, it was employer, friend, and family.
Love one,
Love, for
and he just,
everybody, and that's how he can make you feel.
yeah.
Anyway, we was gonna move on from
I
that.
think,
Yeah, but I got to say one thing. That reminded me of it.
Okay.
I have had, and Daniel has had, and we have had so many people. But Billy is the one that took the picture. No, hell no, he is not. I have said that a jillion, million, trillion times, and Billy has answered that. No, not this Billy.
No, did
He
not
would
take
never
the picture
have
in the
done
casket.
that.
No.
The person that took it was another cousin whose name was Billy. His name was Billy Mann, not Billy Smith.
Right.
And it hurts.
And that
to
is
even
actually
think,
another question. That was
right.
one of our questions.
That was, but it hurts to even think that somebody could even ask that question.
Right.
Did you? I mean, no,
No.
never would have done something like that.
Nope.
Well,
So that, that clears that up. I hope. That's been asked since that picture was taken, and
It has been, and after a while I get tired of.
because they. I'm not going to do because he was the one.
I mean, all you got to do is read. It's a different Billy Smith.
There's more people in the world named
Billy
Billy
Mann,
than
yeah.
just Billy Smith.
Just. But anyway.
yeah, I think with that, again, subscribe. If you see any of that asked due to emotional distress and upsetting that it causes, just refer them to this video. We can link it, and that's what I will be doing with questions on that particular subject. But just to clear it up, and with that, we want them to know Elvis fans matter, and we will see you again soon.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.